Hey everyone, how are you guys doing today? Hope
Evening, all.
everybody is doing well. Could you let us know if we are 5 by 5? Hoping I have the mic turned on right. I'm pretty sure I do. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have it on mine.
Make sure you guys are in
Oh,
live chat and not talk chat. Just a
okay,
reminder
now
for
we're good.
y'all. Okay, let me get situated over here. Hold on a second. Okay. Thank you guys for joining us today. It looks like we're 5 by 5. Okay. Hey, Sophia B. Good to see you. Simply Tony, Ed, Moonsprout, Minuteman. Prayers for you, Minuteman. I hope everything. I just pray that everything gets taken care of and everything for you. Hey, Coffee First. Kevin Ramsey was first in the house. Papa's Farm, Random, um, Anthony, Ed, JRC Homestead, Hudson Valley. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Um, Never Look Back. Thank you guys for being here so much. You kind of have to bear with me because I'm having really bad allergies and sinus problems lately. Yes, Coffee First. You called first, but you weren't first. Sorry. But yeah, you guys will have to just kind of bear with me a little bit. I am just feeling really blah. I took some allergy meds and it kind of made me tired and stuff, but just my head just feels like it's exploding and everything. So hey, Yankee Watchdog, good to see you.
Yep.
All right. Um Coffee First. I identify as first. Well,
I
you
can
got the
relate.
first in your name, so
Uh-huh.
I mean that's good. All right. Anyway, today we're gonna go back over these cards. We haven't done these in a while. I've got a
Yep.
couple different one. I've got quite a few here that we're gonna go through. Two different things. I don't have the box, but one of them's got a few is conflicted, and then we've got the Are You Ready for WROL card game. I was going through them and kind of looking at them, and I noticed there's a trend with these cards. They are mainly geared towards if like to be a hero or something. A lot of them were like, would you do this, or where it would your life could be put in danger or something like that, or would you do this other thing? And I was kind of looking at those and I was thinking about it, and I'm like, that's something really difficult to determine if you would be a hero or not in a situation. Even if you say that during these scenarios, oh yeah, I would definitely, put my life above
Oh, yeah.
others and stuff,
You
but
don't
you
know
don't
exactly
know.
how you're going to react
And
until you're actually in the
speaking
situation.
of which, let me put up my disclaimer banner on here real quick for uh that this is educational purposes only. Okay. Just want to make sure I had that up there. Hey Papa's Farm, good to see you. Hi CUCV Farmer, good to see you. Prepper Book Club. Um, so a lot of it's going to depend on different situations. Like even these scenarios that we do and stuff, that's not necessarily what you're going to do in a situation. It's just kind of to get your mind thinking about what you might possibly do in
Mm.
a situation, but nothing is set in stone and everybody's going to have a different opinion about the different things. So, hey Sherry, good to see you. Hey
Like I
GMA
say,
Nana, Independent Men United.
and even the same person, same situation, but different um, ages that they're at, will probably react differently.
Yeah, see, if you would, okay, I'm gonna give my age a little bit. Hey, little lone prepper, I'm 48. I just turned 48. I
I'm
would,
65.
I would, I would say 20 years ago, even, um, the answers I would have given would be different than what they are now. You evolve, you change, hopefully for the better as you get older. When I was younger, I was a little bit wild and crazy and stuff, and now I'm more settled down and just more focused on, stuff like this. Like, I know there's a lot of you guys out there that have been prepping and doing things for years and years and years, even before it was a thing,
Uh-huh.
before it was even called prepping and stuff. We didn't start that long ago. I mean, he had kind of been in it a little bit longer than me. But really, what really kicked it off for us was when the
The COVID.
2019 when the thing happened, you know,
Uh-huh.
that virus. That's kind of what kicked it off for us and started doing a lot, like fast and stuff, which isn't good. Hey, Vision, good to see you.
I
It's not good when you all of a sudden feel like you have to play catch up because then you're spending too much money. And
Yeah.
I'm actually going to put up a video about some different things not to do as new preppers. And that's kind of something. Um, hey, Anthony, good to see you. That's some Dusty Country Road. I don't remember if I said hi to you or not. Um, that's kind of something that you just learn as you go. You don't need to do everything at once. I know that we're kind of getting into a time where a lot of stuff is kicking off. A lot of stuff is going to be happening.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, do as much as you can, but don't get overwhelmed with anything. And again, these cards are just kind of for fun. They're not serious things. You don't have to do what you answer and stuff to them. It's just a fun little thing to make it so, you know, I think that they're fun anyway to think about different situations and what you would do. Hey, Sandy, good to see you. Okay, I'm trying to.
Well, it's kind of like a quick story. I don't want to brag on myself or anything like that. Like I say, you don't know how you're going to react. When I was in my mid 20s to 30, I was with a girlfriend at an amusement park, and we went through the horror house, the scare house, and you know it was a little scary. But we get to the end of it, we walk out this door, and we're in this area. The facade of the building is another door to get out to the area. So we're in this confined area,
Hi, Canadian.
and all of a sudden, out of the shadows comes a guy with a chainsaw, and it's fired up. You know, you split instinct. You don't. I didn't notice it didn't
Thank
have
you,
a,
Tomcats.
it didn't have a chain on it, but I the girl was between me and him, and I said, "Yep." I pushed her behind me, and I went to confront the chainsaw. I hope I would do the same thing now, but I won't know until I'm faced with that situation.
Yeah, that's true. That's a very good story.
And my
because
instinct was to get between him and her.
It's also a little bit different though when you're doing something to protect, like, I wouldn't say she was your family because you weren't married or
No, no.
or anything, but I mean somebody that you know rather than someone that you don't know.
Uh-huh.
So it's going to be a little bit different for that. Um, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and jump into some of these and see. Like I said, this one's kind of a little bit long. And I'm gonna try to go a little bit slower because sometimes when I do these scenarios, I like start talking, don't let you guys have time to put what you think in there, and then I move on to the next one. So I'm gonna take that into consideration. So I'm gonna try to go slower and let you guys put in what you think too. Okay. So your scouts inform you about a small time kidnapper who is holding people hostage and engaging in. Okay, I have to be careful some words that I use on here. I probably shouldn't have used those, but is engaging in human tea, you know what I'm talking about. The initial intel is
Sound
that
of freedom.
yeah, the sound of freedom type of thing. The initial intel is that he has a force of 4 other men with him who are well armed and dozens of victims, most of them women and children. Sounds like they would be an even match to your current survival group and your capabilities. As your group's leader, would you waste supplies and risk the lives of your group members to rid the world of such characters, or would you let them continue to prey upon the weak? This is another very interesting one about putting yourself in a situation that you don't need to be. So I'd kind of like to see what you guys say about this. Hey, Mary, good to see you. I would have to say that personally, it's not a good thing to have a group like that that's out, that especially if it's that close to your own group. You don't know if they're going to target you guys next. Hey, Widow's Diary, good to see you. So my thought on it would be to waste the resources to get rid of the group, because if they came after your group and took some women and children in your group, you're gonna go after them anyway, or at least that's what a good group would do. They would go and get their people back and things like that, at whatever cost, because just because you guys are friends, you're in a group, a lot of the times it's more like you're more of a family. If you guys think about like The Walking Dead and how they all became so close being put together, people that would have probably never been talked if this didn't happen and stuff, kind of the same thing. I think personally it would be better just to go take care of the problem before it became a problem for your group. And then at that time, you might not have as many resources and stuff to waste. But that's my opinion. So,
Well, I agree, but the way I think you should go about it is, first of all, get some intel, have eyes on them, watch them for a while, see if there's any patterns, see if you can cut down on their forces. Don't just go up to them head to head. So like if a person was to
I think that should be the case with whatever group. If you have to go up against
Yeah.
a group and stuff, don't just go in thinking
guns blazing and
yeah,
not knowing
exactly. You
not
need to
knowing what's there.
have some scouts, do some make sure they got enough intel on the group to know what they have, how many people, how many fighting people, that kind of thing.
Well, plus like if you could get close where you can take somebody goes off in the woods to go to the bathroom, and you can take them out with a knife or an arrow, or a silent kill somehow.
That's a very good point too, is that if you're trying
And
to
diminish their fighting force as much as possible.
do it slowly and quietly. That's another thing. Because guns, even with silencers, I mean, most people don't have a bunch of silencers on their guns. And even in SHTF, you can say, well, I'm going to get them off of the people that have taken out and stuff. Okay, that's possible. But in reality, guns still make noise and stuff. So you need to try to be stealthy about it and be as quiet and handle the situation as quietly. Like you said, kind of watch someone, wait until one goes away by themselves or something, and then take them out quietly. Like you said, knife, bow and arrow and stuff. I know some people aren't going to be able to do, say, knives, because it is very close combat. And a lot of people, it's going to be hard for their mind to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
Like if you're 20 feet away and you shoot someone, it's not as up close and personal. You're not right there with them. And I think the only time it would be easier to do would be if you're defending yourself, you're trying to protect yourself, this guy's coming at you, going to kill you. And then it would be easier for you. But either way, nothing is going to be totally acceptable for you.
Well,
it's going to be hard on your mind.
I'm fixing to zero in some scopes, and I'm gonna improve my skill for
Hey, Dragon Lady. Hey, Katrinka. Good to see you.
long range shooting. And if as you're either before you attack or as you attack, have the sniper take out some of them. As you're going in, have an overwatch of a sniper that he can watch your back from a distance. And if somebody was to sneak up behind you, they could take him out.
Yeah, that's another reason why having a group or a mag is a good idea. A lot of people will probably get mags after the situation, after it becomes really bad. Hey D, good to see you. It's just going to depend. I mean, some people have mags now and stuff. I think it's a good idea. That way you can kind of see what they're like and stuff. But when situations happen, people can change, you might think that they're a certain way and stuff, but then some stress comes along and they're a totally different person and they react differently. So it's just good to know. Hey, James Trump, good to see you.
But also the stress can bring out the true colors of people that have portrayed themselves as being a good guy.
Well, yeah. And which brings me to another card, which is kind of in that what we were just talking about. What are the pros and cons of organizing MAGs, which are mutual assistance groups, but I think most of you guys know in here, before the collapse? Do you think it's a good idea? If so, how would you go about establishing that relationship with another group now? That's
Yeah,
a really good
how do you build a
question.
MAG?
How do you start doing that? See, for me personally, I've heard people say, you know, watch what people buy at grocery stores.
Hey,
If they're
Sandy.
buying a lot of water and things like that, um, then then you know what kind of supplies they're buying. They could possibly be a prepper and stuff. Me personally, I still am nervous about talking to anybody that I don't know about that because I like to kind of keep to myself. I like to stay gray man, you know, as much as I can.
I want to keep the cards close to the vest.
Yeah. Now if you live like in a neighborhood or something like that, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to go and meet your neighbors, kind of talk to them a little bit, find out like maybe what their political views are, what how they feel about how the world is right now and stuff like that. And you can kind of get an idea from that, um, what kind of people they are and if they have the same mindset that you have. Um, Yeah, exactly. Like Ed said, talk to the neighbors first and feel them out. Yep, definitely. Yep, JRC, very cautious. Yeah, that's kind of, I think most preppers are on the same page with that. You just don't know. Um, and that's, it's kind of scary. It's like if you're ready yourself and you've got everything to protect your stuff that you have and stuff to protect your food and your water and everything, then that's probably good. But you don't want to have to go up against 5 or 7 people that decide, okay, well, we know that she's got this over here, so let's go
Well, it's
take it.
like somebody said, don't get suckered into a cult thinking it's a MAG.
Yeah, that too. You just need to. Oh, thank you so much, widows. Um, yeah, it would take me a long time to trust somebody like that. Yeah. Um, hey, fish sticks, good to see you. I think that that's going to be the general consensus is it's hard to do that. I think right now, like we're kind of in a little bit of a mag here with you guys. You know, you guys are like family to us and stuff. I would help you guys. I do what I can for you guys, and I know a lot of you guys would do the same thing. So, you know, different creators have like Discord and different things like that. I mean, that's a good place to meet people too. But here's another thing about joining a mag. Don't tell them, like, if they ask you, well, what do you have? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? Don't give them that kind of information right away because what they might be trying to do is get you to join their mag and then give up your stuff. And then don't ever join a mag and just give up your stuff to them because they're like, well, we need to hold on to everything so it's centralized for the group. Don't ever make that mistake and do that.
Don't ever give up your gun.
Yeah, that too. Don't ever give up your guns or anything. In fact, I don't think personally that I would even trade ammo or anything like that, because then they could use it back against you and stuff. It's not something I would use as a barter item. Plus, in that circumstance, it would be hard to get more, so I'd want to keep what I had. But that's just a thought. Um,
Oh, God says, who's in top chat?
yeah, who's in top chat still? You guys need to go to the back of the line if you
Not
guys
me.
are in top chat. Okay, if you guys wouldn't mind taking a second to hit that thumbs up for us, that would be great. And if you are new and you're watching this later or something, if you guys could just subscribe to our channel, that would be wonderful.
Very helpful. Thank you.
And share the video out and all that YouTube-y stuff. So just throw that in there for a minute and stuff.
We put out some videos and a lot of people see it, and another video, and hardly anybody sees it.
Yeah, YouTube is so strange. Like we put out a couple of shorts. One of them was just about the snow here in Texas, and it got 1,500 views. And then I put out like a video about me talking about prepping and things like that, and it gets like 300 views. I'm like, okay, so apparently they just don't like prepping channels and stuff here, so I don't know. But
And I did that video where I was cutting in the ceiling with a sword, and I got what, 2,000 views.
hey, this and that with Matt, good to see you. Yeah, hey Tiger, good to see you. Yeah, it's really strange how they push different things out. But let's go ahead and do another scenario here. I'm trying to let me move to this group here. I don't want to do that one. Hold on a second. Go ahead and talk for a minute or something.
And something we thought about doing, but decided against. But everybody's aware of the news, what's going on in the world. Houthis, rebels. I laugh. How can I take anybody seriously that calls themselves Houthis?
I know when I heard that, I looked at him and I said, man, that name sounds like Hootie and the Blowfish. It just reminds me of that group and stuff, and I just can't take it seriously. But that's just.
And the thing is, they're shooting missiles at our Navy ships. Just the fact that they haven't hit it, I don't think Biden's taking it seriously enough. But anyways, what I was going to say was, everybody knows what could.
Hi, New York. Go ahead.
What could happen in the next 13 months. And what you need to do is really do some soul searching and say, okay, this happens, what I'm going to do. This happens, what I'm going to do. Because if you wait to the last minute to decide what you're going to do, it might be too late.
Yeah, so you guys come up with some different scenarios. You know what? Bring your whole family involved in this and stuff like that. Like, get your kids, even if they're younger and stuff like that. Get them, doing this stuff. I know a lot of people want to protect their kids from bad things that are happening and stuff. But if they're a little bit older, they can understand more. Just keep in mind their age and what they, need to know and stuff like that. But you could get your whole family involved in these kind of things and play out the scenarios and stuff.
Yeah, because I think this is possibly the most important year, definitely since I've been alive, possibly ever.
Yeah, this is this year is going to be filled with a lot of craziness, and we thought we've seen crazy the last few years. This year's probably going to be filled with a lot more craziness, so just make sure you're doing the things and stuff. Okay. A catastrophic earthquake strikes California, leaving thousands homeless and destroying critical infrastructure. The government begins confiscating private lands and buildings to set up temporary shelters. Your family's home is being targeted for confiscation to provide shelter for the displaced. You have the opportunity to join a local resistance group to stop the confiscation, but it may result in violence and further
Destabilization.
That word. Do you stand up for your property or let it go for the greater good?
Stand up.
Yeah, I was gonna say I definitely would stand up because a lot of people will say, that they're not bugging out, that they're staying in their house no matter what. Like, I will die on my hill, type of thing and stuff. And that's kind of the situation for this. It's like, if you let them in and take it, they're gonna just keep taking stuff from you. So unless you stand up for
it. Bring lots of body bags.
Minuteman may result in violence.
Maybe.
Okay.
They leave me alone, I'll probably leave them alone.
Yeah, exactly. I will stand. Once you start running, you'll be running for a long time. Yeah. That's kind of what I was saying. Once you let them take something from you, they know who you are. I mean, they know who you are now, but they know who you are. They know how easy it was to take that. They're just going to keep taking and taking. And not just from you. If you don't stand up for it, who else is going to? Like, that's the thing, is somebody needs to start standing up, and then others will follow in. Like, with everything going on. Now, I'm not promoting violence, YouTube, or anything like that, But
But
you know,
I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees.
yeah, and unfortunately, we're getting to the point where something is going to have to be done because we can't just keep letting them run this country into the ground and everything that's happening.
Yeah, if things don't change radically,
I mean,
we're going to lose our country.
honestly, 2024, let's just say Trump were to be elected. I don't even know if he has enough time to do a turnaround to make things happen, because the problem is he was in office for 4 years and he couldn't get a lot accomplished because everyone kept pushing back at him and saying, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. They're fighting him the whole way. So even if he was to become president again, I don't know if there's much that could actually be done that he could do, that he has the time to do. I think it's almost getting to a point where it's almost so far gone. Now, somebody else getting in there could make it worse, unfortunately.
Oh, definitely would.
But I'm not 100% sure that he could bring the economy back around, that we could have like less than $2 a gallon gas. I just don't know if that's even possible or not. What do you guys think? I know some of you guys are Trump fans in here. Some of you guys aren't. Hey, Native, good to see you. Hey, Maine Prepper, good to see you. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that he could actually make a difference, or do you think that they're going to be fighting him the whole time?
Well, I think he has a better idea what he needs to do. Not listen to the entrenched shadow government and who to pick for his cabinet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, native voice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, out of everybody, I definitely think he would be the best. He's the most qualified. You got people like I think Vivek, or how you say his name, Schwarm, whatever his name is. I think he bowed out.
Yes,
So
he
he's
did.
out. Did DeSantis bow out
No.
yet, or he did? Okay, so I think it's between him and Nikki Haley.
And DeSantis.
And that's what I'm saying. Him, Trump, Nikki Haley, and DeSantis. And I don't think Nikki Haley has a snowball's chance. She's like way down there. She should just bow out. But
I think they might.
They're trying to keep her in because
Yeah.
she is not a Republican. Okay, I don't care what she says or anything. She's a Democrat, and she's gonna get Democrat votes, and that's what they want. Someone that they can control. I can't speak. Someone that they can control like that. So yeah, exactly. She's I won't say it because I don't know if I'm supposed to say that word, but it's on the screen there, you guys. Yes. I'm a
And
forever
Minuteman,
Trumper. Yeah.
I have not heard what you've heard, but I am kind of the same opinion.
I missed it. What was it?
You said I think it's been a long time since I've heard shots fired in anger, and I need to have some stress release.
Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
I'm ready.
Yeah, exactly. Backed by Democrats. That's the thing, is that she's not a Republican. All the things that she says and the things that she does, but they're pushing her because they think that she can get like the different votes and stuff. The thing is, I don't think even the Democrats want Biden back in the office. I'm pretty sure that they don't even want him in there. So they're trying to figure out what to do too. So, yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I almost pray for zombies. That way I can F some shit up and not have to worry about shooting the wrong
Yeah,
person.
exactly. Never look back. I never even heard of him until he ran. I never heard anything about him. Yeah.
He says all the right things.
Yes, he's a very good speaker and stuff, but I think he's endorsing Trump now. He bowed out.
He did.
He's endorsing Trump.
I think he wants to be vice president.
That's what he said before, is that he wants to be vice president and stuff. So, I mean, I guess that would be a good party ticket, but I think Trump needs to have preferably maybe a woman of a different ethnicity. I don't know. Maybe what's her name?
Candace Owens.
Yeah, Candace Owens or something like that. I also think Tucker Carlson would be a good pick.
Yeah, I think so too. And he's not a politician, so that's a plus for me.
Yeah. I think that, and he'll speak up and tell it how it is. Although,
I mean, he's been in
yeah,
Washington most of his life, so he knows the system,
yeah,
but
and
he's not controlled by the system.
exactly. So I think that would be a good one too. Yeah, Carrie Lake would be a good one. That's a
Yeah, I
good choice
definitely
too.
like
I
Carrie
like
Lake,
her too a lot. Yeah, definitely.
and I know I'll catch a lot of shit for it.
You know Candace Owens.
I know I'll catch a lot of shit for it, but I really like Tulsi Gabbard.
Yeah, I mean she's a Democrat, but she wasn't as far left. She was more kind
Well,
of.
she's come out and said the Democrats are corrupt.
Yeah, exactly. But she could just be saying that, trying to get sympathy and other votes and
Yeah,
stuff too.
yeah.
The hard thing is, hey Tara, I don't think I said hi to you. Hello. The hard thing is that it really doesn't matter what they say, because some of these people can speak very well and they can make you really be like, oh, I like what that person is saying. But then that's not what they intend to do. They're just trying to throw you off.
Yeah.
So what I guess I'm trying to say is you can't really trust any politician or anybody that's running. Everybody lies.
Coffee
I'm
first.
gonna quote like House. I don't know if you guys used to watch House or not, but he said everybody lies, and that's kind of the way it is.
Yeah, I've read some.
Yeah,
I
Angry
haven't,
Prepper. Yep.
I haven't read or seen all of Tulsi's interviews, and I had heard that she's for gun control, which I am against wholeheartedly.
Well, I think Trump is for red flag laws.
Which is I'm against that too.
He's also against eminent domain.
I mean, he's for.
Or I mean, he's for eminent domain. Like he wants to take your house away from you to
Yeah.
give it to something else. So there's some things about him that I don't like either. I mean, there's not one perfect candidate.
Well,
I think we need a prepper up in the White House, though, because they would
I think
get things
possibly
done.
top of my list would be Tucker.
Yeah, probably. I think that would be a good ticket. Preps for everyone. Yeah. We're gonna have Angry Prepper and Mike, President, Vice President, get preps for everyone. Yeah, we definitely need a prepper in the White House. First of all, most preppers are, I won't really say cheapskates, but try to find the best
Frugal.
deals for
Frugal.
more frugal, because you can only get so much stuff with what money you have, so you have to try to do it as good as you can. And they're up in the White House just spending money like they've got billions and trillions of dollars to spend, which we don't. That's
No.
why our economy is so messed up. So we need someone in there that definitely knows about being a little bit more frugal, instead of paying $1,200 for a pen or something like Nancy Pelosi
Yeah.
was giving away those
Exactly.
$1,200 pens. I mean, what the crap? I've got $5 pens that work absolutely perfect. I don't know if her pen was plated with gold or what, but that was ridiculous.
Well, it's like I was an aircraft mechanic on Air Force jets, and then I received an issue of 20 fasteners for the airplane. $11,000 for 20 fasteners.
Well, and he was telling me too that when he worked at the base and he had to do the airplane maintenance and stuff, and tires, that the pilots used to always want
Oh, you had
tires
some
and
pilots that wanted me to change tires that were good enough. I mean, they would have lasted throughout his flight and then some. And he said, no, I want to change. And I couldn't argue. I had to change it.
And how much
And that's
were those?
$500 a pop.
Yeah, and how many tires do you change in a day when
Well,
you're working there? Just
Sometimes 2, sometimes way more. On Fridays, when I was ready to send airplanes out to another base for the weekend, 20.
and this is just at one base and stuff per day. So I mean, the
And
government
there were
has
2 flights, so the other flight might have changed 10 or 22.
yeah. So the government just likes to spend, is very wasteful with money. So $5 a pen. She must be rich. I got a pack for $5.
I mean, those little black Air Force issue pins work great.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the dollar store pens work great too. Yeah. Oops. I mean, I just said $5. Mine are probably not that expensive. like a pack for $5 or something, but way better than $1,200. That's just ridiculous. But anyway, we got a little bit off topic on that. So let's see if we can find another scenario here. Okay, this is another one kind of about defending and stuff like that. What would you do? Okay.
Roaming Prepper's got one after us.
Vision does, I believe. Okay. A powerful solar storm disrupts global communication networks, causing widespread panic. Amid the confusion, your home is invaded by a group of armed police officers trying to confiscate your emergency supplies. They claim it's to help their community and that they're acting under emergency orders so they don't have any documentation to show you. Would you comply or stand up to them? This is kind of like a situation where, like, if martial law was enacted or something and they send military, police, whatever, door to door to take your stuff and everything. I'm pretty sure most people in chat would not just hand over their stuff. But then the other problem is, well, what if they just bust in, break down the door? I mean, are you going to defend yourself? I mean, technically, if they broke in and didn't make it known who they were, I guess you could, in certain states, like Texas, you have the castle doctrine. Is that what's called?
Stand your ground.
Stand your ground. So if somebody were to break in,
above.
I could shoot them and say, I didn't know they broke into my house. Well, I guess that would still be in effect even if it was military or police officers, because you don't know what they're doing. So some states are going to let you do that kind of stuff. Others aren't. And the other thing is, if it's that bad and it's that messed up, there's not going to be anybody else coming over to pick you up and take you to jail because you shot somebody. So there's that too.
Well, spoiler alert. I've already started to dig a hole somewhere on or near our property, and most of our stuff is going to be buried in watertight containers where they won't be able to find it.
Yeah, that's another thing another good point to bring up for this is me preparedness. What even is that?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, Bubba.
Hey McBean, good to see you. Make sure that you guys don't have all of your stuff like in one spot. Have it, like you said, like bury in different spots in the yard where nobody would see it and stuff. Make sure it's in like sealed, airtight, waterproof containers and things like that. Just work at it slowly. Maybe leave a little bit in your house. That way, when they come, they see that and they think that that's all you have. They take that and they're gone and you're good. If you have absolutely nothing in your house, they're going to wonder, why not? And then they might start doing a even deeper dive into stuff.
Maybe I'll buy a crappy high point for them to take.
Well, that's another thing too. Although them coming in there, they probably already know what you have. So, I mean,
hey,
you can use the boating accident.
Things got tight, and I sold them.
I mean, that's what I would say. I would be like, well, I don't have them anymore. I sold them. I mean, instead of using boating accident and stuff, I'd be like, well, I sold them. And in Texas, you can sell to individual people. You don't have to have a sale contract or anything like that. So
you just have to have due diligence that if you think that they.
Well, right, but for this kind of scenario, you don't have to have a bill of sale to show them. Yeah, I sold it to this person or anything. Just tell them, nope, I sold them, but you have them hidden somewhere else or something.
Or I
that
could
way
make
they
up
can't.
a fictitious bill of sale
very
and a fictitious
easily.
name.
Very easily, yeah. So that's not an issue either in a situation like that. But
cover your ass.
Yeah, Norel, that's a good point, and I've always thought this too, is that the USA doesn't have enough personnel to enforce martial law, and the ones that they do have, a lot of them aren't going to want to enforce martial law. They just aren't. Some of them are going to be like, that's wrong, we can't do that. They're not. So they're going to not follow orders. But then there are going to be some who will follow orders because they've got families to feed and
also, like if you've got a deep closet, put a false wall halfway into the closet for hiding your stash.
Yeah, and even if they did come door to door for martial law or something, um, like besides they don't have the personnel, which means they're not going to spend a lot of time on everybody's house. It's going to be quick. And like I said, if you leave out maybe a couple things of emergency food on your kitchen counter or something when they come in, they see it, they grab it, boom, they're gone. They're like, well, okay, is that all you have? Well, yeah, I was going to eat it, but
Well,
and
I
just
think,
tell them, and then they might just move on and stuff because they're not going to have a lot of time to search everybody's house. Just
well,
don't put your
also,
stuff in normal spots. Like, don't put it under a bed or in a closet where they just open up the closet door
I
and
mean,
see it right there.
they know where most people will hide stuff.
Exactly. So just think outside the box and you should be good because, like I said, they won't have the time. Hey, Big T. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. Um, Martial law would probably be in major cities, not around here, that just restricting movements and such. Yeah, martial law will probably be more in the bigger cities because if they start getting out of control, if there's too much looting and things like that going on, yeah, that's going to be more of a problem. Probably not in
And
little towns because they just don't have the force anyway to enforce it and stuff. And usually in smaller towns out in the country or
yeah,
whatever, there's not people doing crazy
our
stuff.
little town, if we'll probably have a good heads up that it's happened in the city before it reaches us.
Yeah, and our town is really, really small. So it's like, I mean, I don't even know how many police officers they have for this town, but I would guess like
Well,
10.
the population's less than 2,000.
Yeah, and a little tiny police station, so probably wouldn't be a big deal over here. Um, I mean, if you guys can get out of big cities, I would suggest it. Hey, Paradise Acres, good to see you. Um, I mean, I understand people can't just pack up and move sometimes. It's difficult. If you're able to, then that's always better. We were very lucky and very blessed to be able to move when we did and to get out of the town that we were in.
And
But
everything just seemed to fall in place.
yeah, it was just supposed to happen. It was the way it was supposed to be. And I'm not bragging or anything about it because we've lived in cities, we've lived in apartments, we've lived in all these kind of places and trying to prep and stuff I know is difficult, but it can be done. You just might not be able to have all the animals and stuff like that that you want when you live in the city, but yeah.
We've got chickens that haven't started producing yet because they're too young. Plus winter.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Moon Sprout God opens doors.
Exactly.
Yeah, we did a video a while ago. It was like July or June or something last year about our testimony. It had a house picture on it and stuff. That's where I talked about just everything kind of falling into place for this house and stuff because I know not everybody is religious, not everybody believes in God and stuff, but it was a really powerful how everything just happened to fall in line. We didn't think we were gonna get it, something happened, and then all of a sudden we did. I mean, it was actually really crazy and mind blowing all
Yeah, well,
the way it fell into our laps. Uh, okay, I was just trying to read chat and see what was going on in here. We got about 15 minutes, so maybe we'll do one more
Okay.
scenario. I do know Vision, I believe, is going live after we go live, and I believe Native goes live later on tonight. So, mods, can you please drop some links and make sure you guys are all subbed up? Anybody in the chat that they haven't dropped a link, please, let them know, and everybody go support everybody. That's how we all grow on here. We YouTube has a thing where they just don't like to help out prepping channels and people telling the truth and politics and all that stuff. So we need to help each other out the best that we can. So, let's see. I'm trying to find a good one real quick that might be an easy one to do.
yeah, if they say something, it's protected by the Second Amendment. If we say something, it's not. Or First Amendment, I mean.
Yeah. Okay, here's another one, and it's kind of about again being a hero type of thing. Would you be a hero or just ignore it? I'm gonna leave off the city and state because that doesn't really matter. But a massive volcanic eruption engulfs the region in ash and darkness. People are desperate to flee the city, but roads are impassable and resources are scarce. You're on your own, trying to escape on foot, when you see a group of 4 people trying to carjack a family. These robbers are armed with handguns, but you have a rifle. Would you risk your own life to protect this innocent family, or would you quietly pass by and hope no one notices you? This one is a difficult one because it's going to be more or less like, again, being a hero and stuff. And some people have it in them. That's why they're firemen, police officers, go in the military and stuff. And other people just don't. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I think most of us have the instinct to survive. That's why we prep. We have a survival instinct. We want to make it as long as we can. That's why we do the things that we do. And this situation could possibly end things for you before, you know. So what would you do?
Well, with my long range precision rifle, I think I could take them out pretty quickly.
I think that's going to be the question too is, are you confident enough? Hey, Prepper Medic, good to see you. Are you confident enough in your shooting skills and your ability?
And I am.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say me too. I would, you know, I could probably do it quick enough where they wouldn't even know what had happened or what hit them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it does depend on the area, I guess,
Well,
on
yeah.
that too. Because do you have something to hide behind? Are you,
And
you know?
does it say how close they are?
It didn't say. You're escaping on foot though, and you see a group trying to carjack a family. So you're on foot, meaning you don't have a vehicle to hide behind or anything. So it just depends if there's other ways that you can hide behind, like a tree or something. I don't know, because that's not given in there. So that's going to depend on what you do too. But the other thing is, if you just try to walk by them, there's a good chance that they might go ahead and shoot you because maybe you saw something and they're trying to, you know. So if you engage them first and take them out before they even notice you, might be the best thing to do.
It's kind of like there's 4 of them, and there's 2 of us. And
well, it said you were alone. It said the person is alone though.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, if you got more in a group, then it's going to be a lot easier to do that. But if you're absolutely by yourself, then it's going to be like, do I have something to hide behind? Can I do this quick enough? You're going to have a lot of things going through your head really fast.
It's like last time I was at the range with the .6, I had sub MOA at 100 yards. And I think I could do pretty close that with the M1A with the precision stock. I think I could probably take them out before they even knew what hit them.
And it depends too, because it doesn't say how close you are to them, or, you know, if you see them at 200 yards away, well, you've got a rifle, they've got a handgun. Their handgun's not going to make it to you. If you can take a couple out, the other 2 might duck down and hide, but then you can wait them out and get to them too. So that's going to depend on how far you are away from them, I think.
Yeah, if I'm less than 100 yards, they're toast.
Yeah, that's what a couple people are saying. The carjackers are going to want your rifle. Exactly. So, you know, I think it would be better just to take them out before they tried to take you for your rifle.
Yeah.
And that's what they would do. They'd think, oh, 4-on-1, this is going to be easy. So you definitely need to take them out before they even see you. And just do it quickly.
I mean, like,
if you have a suppressor, it doesn't say, but if you have a silencer on your, it would be even better, because then they probably wouldn't even hear you, and you can take out maybe all 4 before they even knew what the heck happened. You know what I'm saying? So.
But you know, the ATF doesn't want us to be able to preserve my hearing.
Yeah. Yeah. Volcanic gases asphyxiating everyone. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say you don't, if you just go by, and then next thing you know, that group is taking somebody out in your group, you'd never live with yourself.
Well, it's kind of like the other scenario about the people that were kidnapping kids and women and stuff like that. You needed to go and take out that group before they came to your group and stuff like that. So it's kind of the same thing. It's like, you need to handle it first before they come after you or your group or something like
Uh-huh.
that, unfortunately, which goes back to having the right mindset, because not everybody could do that. Not everybody could pull the trigger. And also, when you're in a stressful situation, you're not going to probably shoot as good as you would just when you're practicing at the range.
Yeah.
Your nerves, you're going to be a little bit more nervous. You're probably going to be shaking a little bit, unless you're used to, like, in the military or a cop or something, and you're used to pulling it and doing
Well,
more,
it's
but,
like, and somebody said is, I'd want to observe what's going on for a little bit. And say like you take out the it might be a trap, and or say like you take out the bad guys. Don't turn your back on the rest of those
well,
people.
it could be a trap too. It doesn't say that in here, but the four that were like carjacking people and stuff, they could have all been part of the same group and
Yeah.
wondered if you would go and trying to get somebody else. So there's always that. So you have to be careful, because that kind of stuff happens a lot, where people use women or kids or whatever to try to get your guard down, and then they come back and they attack you and stuff. So you always have to be careful about those kind of situations, because unfortunately there's a lot of bad, evil people out there in the world right now. You just have to use some really good judgment. If you have a bad feeling about someone, there's probably a reason for it, and you should probably trust that instinct, basically. Thank you, Mike. Thank you for being here. Okay. We got a couple minutes left. Anything else you want to talk about or anything, or?
Everybody go to the range and train.
Yeah, definitely train. Soak up as much knowledge as you guys can right now while we have internet and stuff. You never know what's gonna happen with that. Dog is barking outside.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
I,
You guys want to do one more question? Big T's like next question.
Next question.
Okay, we can do one more question, I guess. Let me see if I can find something real quick.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
fixing to start hitting up the used the tire shop and get some worn out tires and build my own range in the backyard.
Okay, you guys, one more question. One more. All right, this is about an earthquake. It's left the city in ruins, leaving millions without power or access to basic resources. Looters have targeted wealthy neighborhoods. As you return home, you find three men armed with baseball bats ransacking your house. Okay, I'm going to tell you, this is in California, so you have a concealed carry license, but by California law, you can't take someone's life to defend your property. What would be your next step after seeing these men? They are too busy moving things from your home to a van, and they haven't noticed you yet.
In that situation, in that state, I would leave and call the cops.
Yeah, you don't want to get, some states unfortunately don't have the same good laws as, Texas and other people do. If the other thing is, if they're that they live in a wealthy neighborhood, they can probably replace their stuff, and they probably have insurance.
Yeah.
So that's another thought about it. I wouldn't risk it by doing, especially when they weren't even in your house at the time that you saw them. They were at the van bringing things from there. So you could probably get in a lot of trouble for doing that over in California. So I wouldn't suggest doing that. Now, maybe if you had, say, a baseball bat or a hammer or a knife or something, and you thought you could take them all three on, then that's a possibility or something. I don't know. You'd have to check what the laws are with different things. That's why I always say, just because we say we do something, like, we can technically carry a sword around with us. There's no limit to how big a knife can be or anything like that. So we can carry a sword, a katana, whatever, when we go out or something. But that's not the case in every state. We can also have brass knuckles in Texas. Some states can't carry brass knuckles. There's just different laws in different states. So just make sure before you guys do anything or think that you're supposed, whatever, make sure you check the laws of your state so that you don't get in trouble. Because if you were to get a felony or something like that, then you wouldn't be able to buy guns and
Yeah.
things like that to protect yourself.
Well,
So,
kind of like going back to my story about the amusement park. Um, about that time, I was working full time and going to college full time, and I would get off. I'd be at home from work at midnight. I got to. I was living in a duplex. I drive up. My front door was standing wide open. Midnight, no lights on. So what did my dumbass do? I grabbed a baseball bat out of my car and went in and checked out the place.
was there anybody in there?
No, they'd run away.
Probably good, because you don't know if they had a gun or something like that. Yeah, that's not a smart thing to do. So
Yeah.
don't do what he just said to do, okay?
One of the big things they do, military guys do overseas, is you back then, I'm not sure now, you can get stereos really cheap overseas. And I got this badass stereo system, and the thieves stole it.
Oh, man. Well, that sucks. All right, you guys, I think we're going to go ahead and Big T. I don't think I'd be living in California to begin with.
Now,
that's
once upon a time, I knew somebody that lived in LA, and I loved the weather so much. I said, I would kind of like to retire at San Diego, a little bit further south. You couldn't pay me to live in California now.
no. Well, California has changed a lot, even in like the last 20 or 30 years. Because when I was a teenager and a young adult, I really had wanted to move to California too. It just looked so awesome and stuff like that. It's so pretty, and the beaches and the weather and everything. But
for many years, I wanted to live on the ocean. Now I want to live in the woods, preferably in or near mountains.
yeah, that was yeah. See, like we were talking about earlier, how you change and things like that. Because I was the same way. I wanted to live on the ocean for the longest time. I lived in Florida for a little while, and wanted to move out to California. I just wanted to be on the ocean. But no, and then years went by, and I'm like, now it's like, want to live in the woods, on a lake, just.
Well, it's kind of like I had three things I wanted. I wanted in the woods, near lake, near mountains. We are in the woods, near lake, but no mountains.
No. 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Yeah.
All right, you guys. I just want to thank you guys so much for being here. If you haven't liked the video, please do that. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Because we're trying to get our subscribers up to 1,000. It's gonna be a little while, but once we do, we're gonna have a really awesome giveaway at that point. If you thought the last one was pretty awesome, the 1,000 giveaway is gonna be really, really awesome.
Yep.
So share the video out, and make sure you guys go check out Vision and Native and all these other creators in here too. And we will talk to you guys later. Have a good night. Bye bye. God
Good
bless.
night. God bless you.